Hey folks, last night was the American Idol auditions in Houston, or Galveston, or somewhere in Texas. I'm not quite sure. I guess that narrows it down. It was a pretty good episode. You know, it was nice to see the judges not constantly agreeing with each other for a change, but still, I'm ready for Hollywood. 3 more audition episodes to go. Oh. Anyway, the first audition was Phong Vu. Phong loves to sing female pop artist music like Selena Dion, and he believes that God is on his side. Don't you love it when people get on the show and say that God is on their side? I find it a little hard to believe that with everything that's going on in the world, that he'd set aside 2-3 hours a week for a televised singing competition, but I could be wrong. Of course, nobody's ever going to come in there and say, God's against me on this one, but I'm going to do it anyway. Anyway, Phong attempted to sing Unbreak My Heart, but didn't quite live up to the original. Steven said, you brought Tony here today, but there wasn't enough of you in it. If he had brought Tony with him, he would have been fine. If he brought Tony Braxton, he would have done fantastic. Unfortunately, there was too much of Phong Vu in it. J-Lo said, it's not going to work this time. This time? Or any other time. Although, he says he'll be back next year. Next, bad auditions from Cameron Dobbins. Lamounte Hall, you know, if Steven Tyler and Mr. T were to have a baby, that's what it would look like. And then some country boys trying to be the next Scotty McCreery. Wouldn't that be awful to find out that you're a terrible singer on national television? Just to think, you know, most of these people go in there thinking that they stand a chance. Can't they hear themselves? Next is country girl Skylar Laine. For fun, she likes to go mud riding and deer shooting. I've never seen the appeal in either one of those, but, you know, we got to see a sneak peek into Skylar's bedroom decorated with guitars, teddy bears, and dead animals. She showed off one of the head of a deer that she killed when she was 15 years old. Isn't he pretty, she said? He'd probably be prettier to me if he wasn't dead. Skylar wants to hit it big so she can save her family's little country store and keep it in the family forever, or until it caves in, whichever comes first. Looks like it's going to fall in any day now. It's an old store. Anyway, she sang Hell on Heels, and it was really good. She has kind of a Miranda Lambert sound, which I think might be a little bit too country to win American Idol. Of course, I said the same thing last year about Scotty McCreery, so I guess she does stand a chance after all. So it was a yes, yes, and a positively yes from the Peanut Gallery. Doesn't Skylar's mom, though, look like Jan Brewer, the governor of Arizona? Is it Arizona? Yeah. You know, the one that's been making headlines recently for wagging her finger in the president's face. Next was Baylie Brown, who auditioned in season 6, but got cut during the group rounds in Hollywood. I remember her very well. She seemed like a strong contender early on, so a lot of people were just furious when she was in the group with Antonella Barba and she got eliminated, and Antonella didn't. Remember that? Remember there were all those naughty pictures going around of Antonella, and people thought that she was a skank, but she made it to the top 24 anyway, but she didn't last long because America hated her. And one of the reasons that America hated her was because of the Baylie Brown's untimely demise. So anyway, here we are 5 years later. Baylie sang Bed of Roses, and it was great. I went back and watched her season 6 audition, and her voice has gotten better, but I think I liked her audition from season 6 just a little bit better, probably because I liked the song better, but whatever, it was 3 yeses for her. Next was 28-year-old Kristine Osorio, I think. I don't know how to say her last name. I need to memorize these things better. When they introduced her, they said that this was her last shot to change her life. Well, you know, I understand that she's 28 and this is her last year that she can audition for American Idol, but my God, they made it sound like if she got a no, that they was going to take her out back to the firing squad. Anyway, Kristine put her dreams on hold several years ago when she got married and started having kids, but now she's getting divorced, or might not be getting divorced after all, and giving music another shot. She took the money that she was supposed to pay the divorce lawyer and bought a plane ticket to the American Idol auditions. That's right, make that old husband pay for the divorce if he wants one that bad. She sang One and Only by Adele, and it was fantastic. I really liked her. Of course, so did the judges. I just wish they had given her some more useful feedback instead of just endless praise. They could have told her to open her eyes up a little bit when she sings, but she was one of my favorites of the night. Next, it was J-Lo against the guys. Racheal Turner singing Undo It. Jennifer said yes. Randy and Steven said no. Based on the half second that we heard, I would have to side with the guys on this one. Same thing with Reagan Wilson singing At Last. I just didn't think it was that great. She looked kind of like, to me though, she looked kind of like an unpolished Catherine McPhee though, didn't she? And Cheyenne James sang Pink's Misery, and it was pretty good, but I was on the fence with it. I wasn't so blown away that I was devastated when the guys gave her a no, but I probably would have given her a yes, but it was pretty good. I think, though, Steven Tyler did sing that song with Pink, so his standards are probably a little bit higher because of that. So I get why he said no. Yeah, right, listen to me, Steven Tyler and high standards. That's like an oxymoron, isn't it? I'll have to agree with J-Lo on Linda Williams, though. I thought she sounded like a wet wildcat, but the guys sent her to Hollywood. Notice how Jennifer told her to try again next year, And then when she left the room, she said, "That was awful. Why didn't you tell her that? Just be honest with these people, y'all cowards." Next, Alejandro Cazares wants the judges to grant him the power to bring revolution to the world. How are you granted power like that? He envisions a world where the underdog can win, Lady Gaga can sell 1 million records, and Barack Obama can become president. So I guess he wants to change the world by keeping everything the same. He wants to live to be as old as Steven Tyler. Boy, that's pretty damn old right there. Steven said that he wrote Dream On when the Dead Sea was still sick. Steven, come up with some new jokes, original jokes. Make them up yourself. I've seen that online 1 million times. You know, when Steven started last season, at first I thought he was funny and clever until I started recognizing all of his jokes from the internet. He's a plagiarist. I mean, whenever a clever line comes out of his mouth, you know it did not originate in his head. Anyway, Alejandro sang Looking Up, and his voice was so bad that even his girlfriend wouldn't wish him luck. So, of course, it was 3 no's for him. He begged and begged, until finally a Texas-sized security guard ushered him out. But still, the revolution is not over. Next was Cortez Shaw, raised by a single parent, homeless at times, and is now in college and chasing his dreams. Take a lesson, Travis Orlando. He sang Someone Like You by Adele, and he's a good singer, but I really didn't like it. I don't think Randy really liked it either, but then Cortez told Randy that he was his favorite judge, and of course Randy can't say no then. Well, he hasn't been very popular. He hasn't had very many fans over the years, so he's got to hold on to the ones he can get. So Cortez got 3 yeses. Next is another Adele song from Julie Shuman, Rolling in the Deep. Looked like she'd been rolling in Steven Tyler's closet, and she sounded like she was rolling in broken glass, so it was 3 no's for her. Vanessa Hernandez heard it through the grapevine. Heard what? Obviously not her voice, otherwise she wouldn't have auditioned. She would have just stayed home. Erin Kettl had the judges in tears with Unbreak My Heart. Unfortunately for him, or her, I couldn't really tell. Whatever, it was tears of laughter. And the last of the night was Ramiro Garcia, a worship leader that was born with no ears. Finally, a real story. Finally, somebody has a real story this season that doesn't feel like it was made up for television. He sang Amazing Grace, and it was good. Probably not good enough to win the season, but good enough to make it through to Hollywood. A lot better than some of these other people they set through. So it was okay, but, you know, he should probably stay in church. So that was it for the night. I liked Baylie Brown, and who was that other girl after her that I said I liked? It was one of my favorites, and now I can't remember her name, so I don't know. But I thought it was a pretty good episode. It was better than these other audition episodes, but I'm still getting tired of the auditions. So anyway, 3 more audition episodes. I'm ready for the live shows. I can't take all this jerking me around. Let's just get to the live shows. So anyway, I'll see y'all later.